Hello, my name is Alan, and today I'm facilitating the second of 3 sessions, a slightly curtailed series for reasons beyond our control. The second of 3 sessions of the Urban Shadows Quick Start, the second edition Quick Start that's been issued alongside their Kickstarter, their successful Kickstarter. Just to put a bit of a spin on it, I've set this in a kind of non-specific 1970s Cambridge. We're using the Kickstarter University Hub, slightly reskinned to be an imaginary Cambridge college behind me, Gower College, and that is the focus for all the characters in some way or another. This game has been organised as part of the Gauntlet RPG community's monthly calendar. If you don't know about the Gauntlet, then please type Gauntlet-RPG into any reputable search engine and you will find us. If you want to know more about what we do and the kind of things we do, then please refer back to the first in this series, or indeed the first in any series on my YouTube channel. We are playing with some safety tools. We're playing with lines and veils and the X card. And there's a tab with lines and veils. 3 of the players were in here last time, so they've already had a chance to add to those lines and veils. I'll just say to Mario, have a look at the tab, and if there's anything you want to add, please do. And we're also playing with an open door. So if something comes up, or if this session turns out not to be as exciting or enjoyable as you'd hoped, then of course walk away. There is no kind of chain that holds anyone to this virtual table. And we're also playing within the Gauntlet's Code of Conduct, which I think provides a really safe and inclusive framework in which to play RPGs. So that's the setup. I'll talk a bit more about where we left it last time, but let's hear from our players and their characters. So I will finish by saying my name is Alan and my pronouns are he, him. And let's go in order, starting Gerwyn. Say hello and tell us something about Wynne ap Dunwyn.
Hello, I'm Gerwyn, and I'm playing Wynne ap Dunwyn, a bwbach, a Welsh brownie, very much in the mould of the house elves from Harry Potter as a cultural touch point. He is a fae, but a fae of service, not a fae not one of the high fae, but one of the lowly commoners. And he's sworn revenge on a pack of werewolves that have killed one of his closest friends. And that's leading to all sorts of interesting situations. No doubt that's going to escalate tonight, so we'll see how that does.
I wouldn't be surprised. And then moving along, Daniel, say hello and tell us something about Reggie Spencer the Vamp.
Yes, hello, I'm Daniel, he, him, and Reginald is a vampire who, was previously a banker. He's also working as an investment banker now that he's a vampire. He turned into a vampire in the 1850s back in London, and then he kind of always moved together with relatives that were alive during that time. And the last move was 5 years ago to Cambridge, because there are actually 2 relatives, descendants of his sister, who are studying in Cambridge now. One of them is Nate, and the other one is Sandra. And yeah, during the last session, he already spun his web, I would say. So he helped out one of the major NPC vampires. And he his own goal currently is to make other vampires dependent on his own blood supplies, so that he can feed them tainted blood supplies at some point and get rid of them if necessary. And for that, he has mostly turned to the smith for help.
That's great, thank you. And there is current animosity between that group of vampires, the only significant group of vampires. There's the odd singleton like yourself in Cambridge, with the werewolves that Wynne wants to wreak revenge on. Could Wynne find herself aiding the vampires? I wonder. Moving along then, let's, Sabine, say hello and tell us about Faris Talib, the Smith, our veteran.
Yeah, hi, my name is Serene. I use any pronoun. I am playing Faris Talib, who goes by the name of Smith, usually in the supernatural or occult society, because that's a lot easier. And yeah, he is a historical conservationist and restorator, whatever he knows how to pronounce it. And he is also a purveyor. He used to be a purveyor of weapons to the occult society, until he created something that was a bit too powerful, and then he decided, no, he was done. This was not a lot of fun anymore. Sadly, though, this weapon, which is called balance, he kind of lost track of it. Hey, that sounds careless, but it was rather dramatic, I imagine. So now he's looking for that weapon, and he has asked his friend Reggie to maybe put a few feelers out. Who knows what he will find. He has also he also does not like these werewolves. They killed this Reese fellow who he quite liked, I imagine. And he has sort of promised Wynne that he will help him to create the weapons that will slay the werewolves. But we found out last time that he might need the help of a wizard or magical person. And of course, he, I think, might have thought of Janette.
Surely not. Yes, and it's fair. So that sword, I think what we discovered was that sword had been in the British Museum and was currently on a nationwide tour. And I can't remember if I said, but I think what's in my mind at the minute is that it was intended to go to an exhibition in Oxford last week. But I don't think your contact was entirely clear where it was going after that, Reggie.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the setup. There is one bit that connects Reggie and Smith that we do need to touch on, and that is that Smith's sister, Asmira, is currently being sheltered by Reggie in his flat, and Asmira needs to be sheltered because she left the Piers Verde Society, which is a group of, it's a mortal dining club within the college that hunts the supernatural, but they do not like members who leave. Once you sign up, you're in for the duration, it appears. And last time, they attempted to break into Reggie's flat. So it's clear that they've tracked Asmira down. We knew in play that there was a list, and it appears they acted on this list of people they have something against, and tried to break in. I don't know if I said it, but in my mind's eye, I think that the Piers Verde Society always wear a white carnation. And Reggie, you found that white carnation because they rolled very badly to break in. So you know exactly who tried to force your door. And that brings us to our wizard. So Mario, say hello and tell us something about Janette do Espirito Santo. You'll say that better than I will, I'm sure, who is our wizard and joining us today.
Yeah, hey, my name is Mario. I'm playing the Great Witch of Portugal, Janette do Espírito Santo. And she's quite old, but there was a complication. So she did not really live through all the time. So during 1553 to 1555, she was at the peak of her powers. And then a really bold ritual, which was supposed to give her the sole leadership of the wizarding world. It's she fucked it up basically. So she got wrapped in a big ice bubble, time bubble thing. And as we know from all the fantasy shows we have been consumed, for some reason magic can't penetrate ice that well. So the magic in her actually enabled her to stay alive during all that time, but she was sort of in a coma state. And for some reason, she woke up in the 1950s in a totally different world. But yeah, she sort of catched up until now, but she did not get all her powers back. Like something messed with her powers, or maybe her physical abilities to control magic, and now she's just a mere ordinary witch among witches and wizards. And yeah, that's so frustrating. Oh man.
I was going to ask, what's her demeanor therefore? Because this sounds like pretty depressing to me.
Well, so for one, in the 1970s, sexual morals have been rather lax compared to the 50s. So that's way more fun than back then. And therefore she tries to help young sex workers and other people to have a better life, supports them with some of their money. She bought one of those old factories around, and just made a whole bunch of tiny little music and video studios there, and independent artists can shoot their movies, and she doesn't mind if that's some erotic content is involved in it.
Now I'm just checking your gear. You have a nice apartment or a simple house. So is it a nice apartment or a simple house? And is it a part of the house that you rent out or give or allow people?
So
because I'm just wondering where you made so much money in the last 20 years, I'll be honest.
Well, I still know all the big families, and I think they owed me some debts to some point, and I traded them to start my life again.
Okay. So you've spent the last 20 years catching up on a 500-year gap or so.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything that is still archaic about you?
Sorry, what's that last word?
Archaic. Is there still anything that kind of is out of time?
Okay. No, I'm a smart woman. Well, yeah, no, yeah, okay. I can easily catch up with those technology bits and pieces of the new world. Well, one thing for the Gauntlet regular listeners would be that Janette is the one that actually brought Cameron Thweetooth, the crocodile from our Apocalypse Key series, into the world. But that's just another detail.
Okay, that's a very deep cut to those of you who want to go and search out that episode of a different game with a different GM. But, you know, I know you fans are out there. Okay, so I think I would like to begin with Janette and Reggie in Fitzbilly's Cafe. It's just around the corner from Gower College. And Reggie, remind me why you like going there.
Yeah, that's actually a funny story. So I like going there because the stuff they sell there, it just tastes like in the old times for me. So
and Janette,
it reminds me of the time, yeah, when I was turned into a vampire.
So very traditional kind of baking. Janette, I mean, you know, it's not 16th century traditional, but so is this 1950s, or is this, you know, anything you remember from so long ago?
Well, I think that the point is this is the closest that it gets to the 16th century. So therefore it tastes like past, and there's still, yeah, if I would be that powerful again. So at least this bakery gives me a hint of what I was. You're muted.
I don't know how cross-culturally this works, but could it be that it's the Fitzbilly's hot cross buns with the sign of the cross on it that is keeping your power at bay?
That is a good question. If that were so, I have no idea that it is, because then I would stop eating it.
Of course you would.
Power is the most precious thing there is, right?
Indeed. But for now, the hot cross bun trumps that possibility. Okay. And so Reggie and Janette, we see you in this cafe. I think that I'm going to suggest that, you know, the waitresses, because they are all women, they are waitresses, they're dressed in black, they have a white apron on, they have a little white hat. And that probably reminds Reggie of the way that common people dressed in 1850. And so what is the nature of the conversation at Fitzbilly's? Janette, what are you talking about?
I think I'm just randomly trying to start the conversation with complaining about how fucked up nowadays wizards are with their dumb elemental spells and shit. Like that's the only thing that actually would be magic. Like my memory wipes used to be so powerful, I just could erase the memory of a whole nation if I just wanted to.
Sure.
Patient nodding.
Only relying on something like fire. Yeah, smart asses. That's not true magic.
You know what I'm relying on? Money.
What? Yeah, that's good too.
That's the magic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you also have one of those computers, right? Those new calculators that do money for you, right? Where you could connect to make money. You need to show me that one time.
I haven't quite figured out how this works. It's really like magic for me. But it's
no. It's not. No. Reggie, I know you're just trying to fuck with me here, but you know no. That's a hard line. That's not magic. That's technology. Do not confuse it. It's both physics, but it's different. You know that.
All right. If you say so.
I think common knowledge is that there's certainly a computer in the engineering department.
Yeah.
And apparently you have to kind of, there's a big keyboard and you type stuff on a keyboard and tiny little cards come out like postcards. It's tricky to understand, Reggie.
Yeah, it's like a miracle for me. Really.
I'm sure it'll be the next big thing. Reggie, what do you share about the current state of play in your life?
I think I'm hinting at the fact that I'm looking for this sword, and I might need some help with that.
What, a sword? We just were talking computers, and now you're back to a lame ass sword.
Yeah, well, it's an important sword.
Okay, it's a relic then.
The smith asked me to look for it, and I kind of have to do it because I owe him one or two. maybe 3.
Who doesn't, right? That guy. So okay, so it's some ancient sword. Basic question: who crafted it? What's our last lead on it?
Well, he crafted it.
Oh,
That's the thing. Yeah.
What demon did he give it to this time?
I don't know. But the thing is that it's been going through the country, through various museums. And now, the last thing I know that it was supposed to come to Oxford. And yeah, so maybe it will soon be here in Cambridge again. But I don't know any details, so
who's wielding it? Who's carrying it?
no one. I mean, it's not wielded anymore. It's just presented in museums.
Oh, well, that makes it easier, right?
Yeah, if I only knew in which museum it will be.
Okay, I get it. So you want me to track the spiritual energy of the sword, but I have to tell you, that's not really my expertise.
But you can do it, right?
I used to. I'm afraid this is. I think it's well in a traditional magical sense. It's beyond my abilities nowadays. But as you know, I know some people that might run museums. So yeah, those old fucking bloodlines.
So is that a prompt to hit the streets, Janette?
Yeah, sure. To be honest, I didn't memorize the names of the moves, but I guess let's just gather some information there.
Yeah, so if you look at the basic and circle moves, there's hit the streets. When you hit the streets to get what you need, i.e. information on said sword, name who you're going to and roll with their circle. So we've got a faces tab, which has all our possibilities lined up. Is there anyone on that list that you want to consult? Give it some thought, because I want to cut to Wynne and Smith. I'm going to frame you into Smith's workshop again, because Smith is teaching Wynne silverworking, as I remember. Smith, I'm going to assume that you know that the Piers Verde Society came after Esmira.
Oh yes, I know. I have a telephone, and she knows how to use that. So I've had an earful.
So what's the nature of the
conversation? Then our mother called, and I've had another earful. So yes, well.
Should we actually pick up as you're literally putting the phone down from that second conversation?
Yeah, I was speaking Arabic at my mother, or being spoken to in Arabic. And I was,
Is everything okay?
Oh yes, my mother's worried about our sister.
Oh.
No, my sister. We don't have the same sister, obviously, because she is, as usual, in trouble. You remember us, Mira? Oh, you don't? No, you weren't here.
No, I've never met her. It's a pretty name, though.
She would like to hear that. Yes,
What does it mean?
He will tell you. I'm sorry, I don't know it, but I'm sure.
I mean, we won't get into Arabic translation.
No.
I'm curious. You can tell us what it means to you, Smith.
I have no. It's probably just a meaningless name, like I don't know, horizon or star or something. Doesn't have a great meaning to the Smiths. It's just a name, basically. Um,
Names have power to them. It's always interesting what names people get given. I think it helps shape their future.
well, I hope this will shape hers, but so far I have a few different names.
Oh, those are the names you chose yourself.
No, the Smith is the name I chose myself.
Oh, that's accurate.
I don't think she's ever put that much thought into it because that would be too much to ask. No, I should not. I should not talk like this about my sister. She's a lovely person.
Is that her real name, Esmira?
It's what my parents called her.
So her given name
Mm-hmm.
at birth.
One of them.
You should be careful with that. You shouldn't go around telling people that.
She does not have another name that I could call her by.
But names have power.
I'm well aware.
Thank you for trusting me.
It's not her only name.
Do you know what my name means?
No, I do not.
It means friend.
That's lovely.
Yes, I thought so. I'm glad you're my friend. And
So am I.
I'll pick up a hat. I'll lift up the crucible where I'm melting some metal and pour it into the mold.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Yes, you are doing quite well. You have the hands for it.
And they'll hold up their hands, and I never thought of that. So what's the problem she's been having?
You know, when she was younger, she got involved with one of the Piers Verde guys.
Oh, she's not pregnant, is she?
No, she's not. It was a while ago. It was, I think it was, let me think here. She's 20 years ago.
Oh.
Or 25. I forget. Time is weird.
So her daughter would be about my age then?
She does not have a child. She does not have a child, I don't think.
I thought you said she got into trouble with one of the Piers
You know
Verde.
what the Piers Verde are?
Yes, men.
She was a member of their society, going out and trying to hunt those who were doing what they thought of was beyond mortal ken and was not theirs to meddle with. And anyways, things that weren't mortal.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely shocked.
Huh.
I didn't realize they let women join and to pick up the next crucible and.
They do let women join. Yeah, they were quite progressive in their day, at least in this respect. I think there was actually a Lady Margot St. Clair or something in the 1880s who was a very famous vampire hunter, was one of theirs. Don't tell Reggie that. She's dead. Anyway.
So what is the problem she's having?
The problem is that at one point she kind of started to see through their bullshit, I guess. Might have something to do with the fact that I was quite friendly with some of the people she was hunting. And and she decided to leave. And then she did leave. And now she's back. And they don't like people who left.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Well, have they sent her an invite?
No, I don't think when I think they want to either punish her very severely or just plain kill her. They won't send her an invite.
They're going to kill your sister.
I'll have to find that out, don't I?
Can you pass me the
Yes.
the what's it called? I can't remember.
Crucible.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you.
Is
Be
that
careful.
scene?
Yeah, that's the scene, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So let me go back round to Janette. Who are you going to talk to?
So I like my character idea is that I don't like other wizards, so I would go to. I thought about Jovita, and I was asking if Reginald already talked to her, because I don't remember all the names from what you guys did last session.
So Reginald didn't talk to her about this sword.
Okay, perfect.
He only talked to the journalist. Let me look up the name. Yeah.
Noriko.
Yeah, exactly. Noriko.
So Janette, so that's going to be tonight. I'll come to that in a bit then. Smith, in order to finish making these silver bullets, you are going to need a supply of silver, but more importantly, you're going to need a wizard. So what have you got in mind for the sources of those?
Well, I thought that Wynne was going to get the silver. They said something like that.
Certainly, Wynne sought to come to a deal with the Guardian of Gower College. I have to say, I'm not entirely certain that they quite understand the idea, but we'll see.
I'll leave that in their capable hands. If you can't trust a brownie to provide you with some silver, who can you trust, right? And of course, for the magic, I think I know. I mean, Janette has rambled at me at length, and I always make her tea, and I feel that maybe she might be helpful in this. And maybe she doesn't like werewolves. I don't know. Maybe I can.
So let me then. How are you going to contact them, Smith?
That's a good question. How would I contact Janette?
Well, telephones.
I don't know if she has a telephone. Mario, what do you think?
She's got a nice apartment.
Oh, okay. Then I will call her telephone.
And is the idea to meet, or do you want to do this over the telephone?
Sorry. I think the idea would be to meet. Yeah, to do this over the telephone is weird. I think telephone is...
Okay, Janette, Smith, telephones you. Go ahead.
Okay. Janette, tu Espiritu Santo.
Hello, Janette, my dear. It is me, Faris Talib, the Smith.
The handsome one.
Don't flatter me, my dear. You are far more handsome than I am.
Oh, really? We should check that out while having a cup of coffee. What do you think?
I think that is a splendid idea, my dear. I had something I wanted to talk to you other than your beauty anyway.
Oh, is there something more important nowadays for a woman like me? Yeah, sure, shoot. I got some time to waste.
Yes, let's meet up. I do not like discussing things like this over the telephone.
Yeah, giving with all the secret services around, right?
No, I like to see I like to see the person's face, the person I'm talking to.
Sure.
And what would you really deprive me of your beautiful visage?
Of course not.
I thought so. So let's meet at, what's the cafe's name that you always go to?
It's Billy's.
Oh, yes, this one. Should we meet there?
Why not? Yeah. Let's say in about 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I will have to run, but please, you will excuse me if I'm 5 minutes late. It's very hard these days to find parking space.
I don't mind you sweating.
I'm driving by car, my dear. I'm not running.
Yeah. How could I?
Not at my age.
So Smith leaves the workshop to go meet Janette. Wynne, do you have any plans apart from practicing your silver work?
Yes, I'm a bit concerned that about Smith's sister, and Smith is my friend, and I protect my friends and my family. So who's the current head of who's the current head student of the Piers Verde Society?
We named him, didn't we? We called him David Marchant. who is being played in our miniseries by the young Boris Johnson.
Oh, excellent. Can I try and find out where his lodgings are?
How are you going to do that? Hit the streets?
Yeah, I think so.
And who are you going to ask?
Let me just get back to the hub. I don't actually know. Actually, no. I think I'm gonna go and have a word with Sister Laura.
Sister Laura, yes, our 18th century.
Actually, no.
Ghost
Let's go.
nun.
Let's go. We said Professor Balanos was the honorary head of the society, didn't we?
That appears to be the case. Yes.
I think I'll go to him instead.
Okay. So you go to the college and you go to his rooms.
Yes. Now I have a connection with him.
Tell us about that connection.
I helped him in the past with some problems he was having with a cauldron and some bodies that wouldn't actually stop rising up.
So you know which rooms are his. And so we cut to you knocking on this solid oak door bound with metal.
I'm going to pick something up and use it to knock on the door rather than knocking on the metal-bound door myself.
Okay. And there's a pause, and the door opens, and there is Professor Belenos, played in this miniseries by Alec Guinness. And he says, "What? Oh, you.
Hello, sir.
You better come in."
Oh, thank you. I'm going to come in. I'm going to wipe my feet on the mat and have a look around. How tidy is this place? Is it a traditional wizard's office where everything's all over the place, or is it nicely orderly stacked and
very orderly? You come into his hall, and he takes you to the first door on the left, which is his study, which has a table in it, overlooks the one of the college quads, and he says, "So, what can I do for you? I assume you're here for something."
Oh, yes. I'm sorry to disturb. I'm trying to get in touch with one of your students. I have a delivery that I need to make to his holdings, but I seem to have lost the address. I can't seem to find him anywhere. I thought you might know where he is.
Let's have you roll hit the streets to see how that goes then. So this is roll with their circle. He is power. So whatever you have with power.
I believe I have +1 with power. Yes, I do. Woohoo!
Woot woot.
And that would be a 4.
And that's when there's another knock on his door, and a group of students arrive, and he says, "Well, I can't talk to you now," and he ushers you out. But you notice he looks very concerned at your question.
Okay.
Now, you could call in a debt to get him to give you another appointment, but he seems very relieved to be rid of you.
No, that's fine. I'm going to go elsewhere.
Okay. So you're going elsewhere. Reggie, what about you? You know, somebody tried to break into your flat. Well, somebody, Piers Verde Society.
Exactly.
What are you thinking at this point?
Well, I am also worried because I think this time I just got lucky. Or maybe not me, but rather Smith's sister. So I am pondering whether I should try to move his sister to my haven, because my flat is not the haven. The haven is a real safe house where they wouldn't really have a chance to break in.
Okay, so how, is that a straightforward? I can't remember. Do you have transport? A comfortable car, an old Aston Martin.
Yeah, exactly. I do have one.
So and where is your haven? What kind of building is it in? Tell us something about it.
I think it's in an old industrial area. So it's an unused factory building.
I think it's probably not too far away from Janette's kind of workshop come studio come whatever.
Yeah, not that far away. Yeah.
So a slightly disreputable part of town.
Exactly.
On the edge of town.
Yep.
Okay. And what makes it so secure?
Well, I think one thing that makes it secure is that you really have a good view on the surrounding area from it, because it's not really in the middle of this industrial area, but a bit on the corner.
Fine. And what, some open fenland behind it for ease of escape?
Yeah, and there were a few ghouls. So
yeah, I was going to ask you about the ghouls. What do these ghouls look like? Because I'm curious what Asmira's reaction is going to be.
Okay, unlike me, they actually do look like monsters. So you can see their long teeth all the time, and they have long claws on their fingers, and they smell like dead people.
So this is a delightful place to bring Asmira. And when he comes through the one of them says, "Ah, master, have you brought us a tidbit?"
Yeah, so I don't think she would like it.
And Asmira is kind of, "Where have you brought me, Reggie?"
Well, here you will be safe.
With those?
Yes. You can trust them.
But they're ghouls. For God's sake, they eat people.
Yeah, but they are my ghouls, you know. I command them, I control them.
So what do you tell them with respect to Asmira?
Yeah.
Because my view of ghouls is that they're not over bright and they need some fairly direct instruction.
Yeah. This is my friend. You need to protect her. You shall not harm her. And you need to hide her, if necessary.
So, not even a nibble.
Not even a nibble. Oh, and you must make sure that she has enough to eat and drink all the time.
Can we forage?
Forage?
Well, we could just go out and find something to eat. It's been a while, master.
Oh, forget this last command. I will make sure she has enough to eat.
It does say that it comes with emergency rations.
Yeah, but for vampires, probably.
So let's assume that you've turned up with a Sainsbury's bag full of provisions to keep her going for a while. Yeah. And I'm going to assume that there is a part of this warehouse that is, isn't just a hole in the ground for you, but has some kind of furniture and some kind of comfort and heat.
Yeah, I think there's also a very simple kitchen that I've installed there.
Fine.
Or let someone install. I wouldn't be able to do that, of course.
And why would you? Why would you?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's then go back to Janette. And you've decided to go where? to find out about this sword?
Well, at night I would like to go to that club of Jovitas.
Fine.
We don't have a name yet.
For the club? No. No one came up with one last week. Do you want to name it?
Well, it's the classic, very original Batcave because before all those death rock bands showed up and got their club in London, I guess. Because she's a vamp, so yeah,
The
I think
Batcave.
that's cool.
Fine. And because we're in the non-specific 70s, so we have everything from Ziggy Stardust to the Sex Pistols to play with. So who's playing when you arrive at the club? What kind of music do we hear?
Oh, I think it's more of one of those more experimental bands. Those like acid rock, I think was the genre
Okay,
called.
okay. And so you approach Jovita wanting information about this sword, which I think I need to know how Hit the Streets goes. Simply so that I know how to play it. So roll with Knight.
Okay, that is a 0 on my part. Oh, yeah, I should have. Oh, that's a 5.
Fuck off, she says.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hold on. I'm just here to talk.
Yeah, I'm busy. Fuck off.
No, you don't understand. I have to talk, and I do want to apologize that last time I showed up, it all went a bit nuts, and
Yeah,
I apologize
and that's
for the
why
emoji.
I want you to fuck off before I have you thrown out.
Okay, you do realize I know your mother very well.
Oh, not that again. I never talked to her.
You forced
Fuck
me.
off.
You forced me. Okay, yeah, your fault. I'm going to see your mother. Bye.
Well, this is all going terribly well. Remember to mark for those circles, both Wynne and Janette, for the circles you've interacted with. I forgot. I should have done Smith and Janette first. I apologize. I knew there was something in there and I lost it. Smith, your meeting with Janette is later than planned. She's come back looking pissed off with Jovita.
Well, I'm eating a crumpet, whatever that is. I have no idea what a crumpet is, but it sounds delightful.
Janette?
Okay. Yeah, I think I just waited until Smith showed up, and then I come in, hairs blowing, with one of those very fashionable pantsuits. Maybe not as bright and colorful as the others are, but I'm the lady in the room. That should be clear by now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I just walk straight to the table and really elegantly try to sit down, and already a bit flirty with the dear Smith. I'm clearly having fun that I can be that I had an excuse to come around here for a second time today. So
Well, he will stand up because he was raised like that when you arrive, and he will try to take your chair, but I guess you're too fast, and then he'll be a bit embarrassed and sit down again.
But I will hold up my hand.
Then he will kiss your hand.
I'll blush. Such a gentleman. That's become quite rare these days. I really appreciate your presence.
For a lady like yourself, my dear Janette, who would not envy the opportunity.
Oh, well said, dear Smith. Well said.
I've had my moments. back in the
So
day when I was young and fair like you are.
I think we should come to business terms and spare the flatterings for later.
Of course, my dear. Forgive me. It is merely a cultural thing that I need to talk a bit before we come down to business. May I tempt you to a crumpet? They are delightful.
I'm afraid I had my fair share of those goodies for today, but I'll be. It would be real pleasant to have another cup of coffee.
But the crumpet does not come with any strings, my dear.
Still, I'm afraid I know my boundaries.
Ah, the young things of today always worried about their weight, huh? And I will wave the waiter over to get Janette another coffee.
Well, I'm afraid for me, staying young is a curse.
Ah, I wish, sometimes I wish I could share that curse.
Oh, well, some men just grow more delicious with their age.
Yes, but there is a certain point where it will tip and we will start to be grandfathers and all our jokes will slightly miss the mark.
I don't know why, but I'm also looking forward to see you in such a position.
I do not, but enough of that not very delightful topic. I have another thing I am working on and I might require the arts magical for that attempt. You have maybe heard of these werewolves wandering about, attacking Willie and Nilly and also an old friend of mine. And if you can believe it, even the vampires. Or at least their go-betweens.
Yeah, I heard rumors, but yeah, I'm not really into the furry fetish, so I did not pay much attention.
Well, an old friend of mine has vowed vengeance on these, and since they are not a great warrior, armed with steel and clad in mail, so to speak, they wish to create silver bullets that will take down these foul beasts.
That is quite a task.
Yes, I have found so, especially since this does not just require me to smelt silver into a form of a bullet, which is hard enough because silver is not easily formed into shapes as one might think. But the silver needs to be imbued with some sort of a spell, so it will disrupt the werewolf's natural tendency to heal any kind of wound.
I've read of such experiments, but to my knowledge, so far, none of them really completed the task successfully. What would be your approach to make lasting bullets?
Well, I certainly need the silver, but I have someone on that. Sorry. It needs a while to craft the crucibles and the forms to hold such a thing, and I'm doing that. But while the silver is bubbling and melting, and we pour it into their final forms, there needs to be someone to sing a spell over them. And I, as you know, I can do things, but I'm no mage myself. I have the incantation in my laboratory, but I cannot perform.
Okay. So is it about that the silver needs a coating, or is it more about the silver needs to be magically charged to do the damage?
The silver needs to be magically charged to do the damage that will disrupt the werewolf's ability to heal it.
Just to be mechanically clear, I'm not expecting a particular spell here. It will just be spending a hold from your channeling.
Yeah, and that's why I thought I'd just try to incorporate one of those I've chosen into the story. So I was going for either for shielding, but I think we come to terms that this should be a hex, right?
I mean, I won't expect you to roll for the spell. All I'll expect is for you to spend one of the holds you have for channeling. It will just be power imbued.
Yeah.
That will be lovely. Well, my dear, I will owe you a favor if you do this.
How could I resist?
I know it is very hard to resist a challenge like this.
Pardon me. I think probably then we've got a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to suggest we take a 10-minute break now, and when we come back from that, we'll worry about whether Wynne can provide the silver, and then I see all four of you back at Smith's for the creation of the bullets, and then moving the bullets to Jovita. Yeah. Because tonight's the night, as they say. Okay, let's take 10. I'll see you at 1:15, and I'll pause the recording till then. And so we're back. And I think I said that I would start with how, Wynne, are you going to get this silver? Because you talked to the beast, the statue of Piers Verde that guards Gower. And they seemed slightly unconvinced by just letting you steal college silver.
I'm not stealing college silver.
Oh, sorry. Right. Then I may have misunderstood. Go on.
I'm stealing the Piers Verde silver.
Okay. So let's assume that the private dining room that we already know they meet in has some silver. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you get into college? Do you stay in college after, the meeting with Belenos went badly?
I was let in through the door to go see Belenos, so I'm already on college site. So
what do we see then as we know where the dining room is, where their meeting room is? Over to you.
Do the dining staff actually have uniforms?
Yes, they do. Fairly plain, so mostly black skirt or trousers, white shirt, ties for men.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna accidentally bump into one of them on my way through the actual campus, and one walking off in the other direction. And when I'm around the corner on my own, I'm gonna try and what's the word? Is it let it out?
That is the word.
I'm going to try and take on their appearance.
Fine.
Oh, actually, no. When I saw Belenos, did he actually shake hands with me as I came through the door?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you're on those kind of terms. Alec Guinness and a house elf.
Well, it didn't stop Dame... God, I can't remember who actually played McGonagall now. Maggie Smith, so... But anyway, so I'm going to bump into one of them and basically try and take on the appearance of one of them to actually get into the silver stores so I can ransack it.
Fine. So let it out then is a move. When you let out the power within you, roll with spirit.
And that's a 12.
Activate an ability from your playbook and mark corruption. On a 10+, ignore corruption or activate another ability.
I will actually ignore that corruption, I think.
Okay. So you take
actually,
on
no, what happens when you fill up your corruption bar?
You get to choose a corruption move.
Oh, in that case, I'll get it then. We've only got 2 game sessions, so
exactly.
we may as well go into it.
What could possibly go wrong in that time? So mark corruption and...
I will then open a portal and step through it to actually escape the college.
Okay. So so you go to the Piers Verde dining room. Yeah.
Yep.
I think probably that portal is you're gonna need that to get in there,
Okay.
unless you've got a way to pick that
Well,
lock.
the portal allows me to escape. It doesn't actually allow.
Fine. Okay. Then you are in the shape of one of the dining staff, but you do need a key or some way to get into that room.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
What's the time at the moment?
I think it's probably early evening.
Okay. And where would the keys normally be kept?
I think probably in the buttery, the place where the senior waiting staff are based.
Okay. I'll guess I'll guess I have to go there then.
And I think, you go in and somebody says, "Hello, Rosie."
Hello.
And what do you do?
There was a bit of a mess left. Well, the Toffs left a bit of a mess in the Piers Verde room last night.
Oh, bloody hell, not again.
We went in and we scrubbed up as much as we can, but they're not due in there for a few hours. I just want to go and actually just finish some stuff off.
And he takes the key off.
Thank you.
And off you go.
I'll have it back to you. Well, about an hour.
Yeah, all right then, all right. But no more than that.
Okay, and I'm going to go into the room.
And take a couple of handfuls of silver cutlery.
Yes.
Fine. And then go on.
There's also what time do the Piers Verde normally meet for dinner? Is it only every Wednesday?
It's every Wednesday at 7, but tonight is Wednesday. That's why you need to get those bullets sorted tonight.
Okay. So earlier I said that I was going to deliver a message to. I was going to deliver something to that student that's the head, that's played by Boris Johnson. I can never remember the name of.
David Marchant.
Yes. So
I should have just called him Boris, shouldn't I?
Yeah, just call him Boris. So I'm going to take out some salt. I'm going to take one of the salt things. I'm going to write "Leave her alone." I'm going to take down one of the deer's head and put it on the actual chair at the head of the table. And I'm going to use the glamour to make it look like Boris. Make it look like Boris's head.
Okay, you create illusions to fool the senses. The effects don't last long, but they are compelling. You cannot disguise or conceal yourself or your actions with these. That works fine. And
basically, I'll be waiting for them to start until I hear them start coming in, and then I do that, and then out the portal.
Fine. So you slip out, they go in, and you hear kind of "fucking hell" from inside. And then, unless anybody else wants to do something else, I'm going to cut straight back to Smith's workshop. So, Smith, you have a wizard, and Wynne arrives at the run with silver cutlery.
I think Smith steps out of one of the shields on the wall. Out of the reflections on one of the shields on the wall, because I've got to come in from Fairy as well.
You have. You've got to come in from Fairy. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Do by all means.
Sure, do that.
So crashes onto the floor. The box that he's carrying crashes open, and all the silverware inside goes sprawling over the floor. And he's just got a big grin on his face. Sorry, they've got a big grin on their face.
I think I've just realized I do need to make you escape a situation, though, don't I? Because all that does is add to the list of options. So let's have you escape the college and see if it all goes to plan. So this is roll with blood. What can go wrong?
Well, given my blood's -1, quite a lot.
Right.
You could run into one of Smith's traps on the way through your sheet.
That's a 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so on 7 to 9, the MC chooses 1 as well. So on a hit, you get away. So it's going to work. But I choose you suffer harm during your escape. You end up in another dangerous situation. You leave something important behind. You owe an NPC a debt for their aid. You give in to your base nature and mark corruption. I think that I will have you suffer 1 harm.
Okay.
perhaps you, I think you suffered one harm just getting out and the door slammed on you or something. Something mundane.
Can I jump in here and say that actually, I mean, fairies can walk through these mirror shields, right? I think this one is trapped. Just so I don't have all the kinds of fairies in here, and there is a little iron ring of raw iron in the middle of it, and that kind of hurts when you squeeze through.
That's much better than mine.
I come through. I have a grin on my face. The grin turns to a grimace, and then Wynne isn't standing in front of you. This horrible little troll-like creature is in front of you, screaming in pain.
Oh.
Alan, I had one harm from previous use of magic. That takes me to my second row of harm.
No, I mean, that was narratively the better part of a week ago.
That's fine. I just wanted to clarify. I was also going to ask what happens when we go to our second row of harm.
Then it takes longer to get better.
Okay.
So there you all are. Reggie's waiting to take these bullets.
Why would you do that?
Because I do not actually like fairies to go through.
You don't like fairies.
I do not like. I do not like unannounced.
But you're my
guests.
friend.
I am your friend, my dear Wynne, but you should not come here without a knocking. Not even if you're my friend. Please understand this.
I did knock.
I am sorry that this hurt you, my friend, but I did not hear you. I apologize. Will you take a hot chocolate, maybe?
Wynne, would you want Sandra to see you like that?
Sandra's here?
No, she's not, but it seems you're better, right, Ray? Seems to have helped.
You're so cruel.
I'm making one a cup of hot chocolate with honey.
Just remember, when we don't hear fairy knocks.
But and he'll turn to they. I keep on using the wrong pronouns for them. They will turn to Smith and say, "Oh, I have something to tell you later. You will like it."
Okay, I cannot. Well, I can wait a little bit longer, Wynne. But here, take this. This will help.
I fear that Wynne must wait, because you are on the clock to get these bullets.
Yes. Also,
Jovita.
we must take these bullets to Jovita, and I will before I start forging away here. I mean, this is a plan we're making, right? Might be a good plan. So I could roll with best laid plans, since I have the move now.
Oh, very happy to see a move used.
Yes.
When you work out a plan with someone, roll with mine. On a 10 plus hold 3, on hold 2. And this is the plan to make the bullets, yeah?
This is the plan to make the bullets and take them to Jovita and hit the werewolves with it. And
okay.
So because Wynne has to make the bullets, right? That's the thing.
That was part of the deal, I think.
That is part of the deal.
You're doing the setup.
Yes.
With
Wynne makes the bullets.
With his hurt hand.
I bring them to Jovita.
Mm-hmm.
And Janette imbues the silver.
Yes.
So, Smith, make your plan.
Let's roll the plan. Wow. Yeah, it's a very good plan. I hold 3.
So you hold 3, and I will forget. So you hold 3. Add 1 to someone's roll.
I will forget as well. So it's fine.
So you can add 1 to someone's roll, choose after rolling, dismiss all harm someone suffers from a single attack, ensure your people have the exact gear they need on hand. Do you want to spend anything to add +1 to someone's roll, in the sense of, say, Janette's effort to channel her power?
It says choose after rolling.
Fine.
So I will wait until I see what she rolls. And if she needs it, then I will.
Janette, channel.
Okay.
Collect,
so
draw your magics to you. What does that look like on screen?
I think, yeah, I'll just grab a scarf wrap it around my head so I look like more witchy. I take a weird stance, make a bag, and then start mumble crazy stuff, and then I just flick the finger
As simple as that. Okay.
and laugh.
So roll with spirit, and let's see if that laugh is ironic or not.
It's a 10. Should do.
So on a 10, you hold 3. Yeah. So make a note.
I hold +1 because I got versatility, gain 1 additional hold when using channeling.
So you hold 4.
Yeah.
And one of those is immediately spent into the silver, which Wynne is melting, ready to pour into the molds that Smith has made. I think I have to have a roll for that. I have to give Wynne a chance to do a decent job with this.
I mean, actually, the workshop says that that I don't have to roll.
Oh, fine. Then fine.
I
Then
think.
Wynne, your training comes through. You've been through the practice. And as Janette imbues the silver, the molten silver, with this magic, you pour it into a row of bullet molds. Yeah. And there they are. There are the bullets you needed. Now, let's remind ourselves what this is supposed to be about. Reggie convinced Jovita to put off confronting the werewolves for a week, because he could provide silver bullets. Wednesday night is Piers Verde night. And so the implication was that Piers Verde were going to go after Jovita's club on a Wednesday night. Last week, you put him off because you got him drunk. This week, Wynne, are you hoping that your trick with the stag's head is going to put them off coming after Jovita tonight?
No, the person who I was saying leave her alone was Asmira.
Yes, I wasn't certain whether you were hoping to have a fallout.
But I deliberately left it vague so that it can be used for storyline purposes to have bad things happen, basically.
Fine, okay. So we don't know whether Piers Verde are going to come after Jovita's club tonight, is the bottom line. So are you all going to the club, or are you sending Reggie? And how do you want this plan to unfold in terms of where you are when the vampires confront the werewolves? Any thoughts? Smith, it's your plan. How do you see this unfolding?
I mean, I'm retired, right? And I shouldn't go. But there are, how many bullets are there?
Oh, I think there are probably a dozen bullets.
Okay, then I think I'll just keep 2. Yeah, just in case, and I'll go. I want to see how this shake out. I have a personal stake in this. This guy was my friend as well.
And Wynne, you've expressed strongly a stake in putting these werewolves down. So what do you think your part of this plan is going to be?
I will mark 1 corruption because I am running off into danger, which I shouldn't do because I'm retired.
Can I suggest wait to mark the corruption until you actually face the danger, right? We know it's likely to happen, but that will unfold shortly. I just want to get a picture of what Wynne is intending in this.
I would, if Reggie's okay with this, I would actually like to carry the bullets and hand them over.
Well, you can join me.
So Reggie and Wynne are going to go to Jovita with the bullets. Janette, what part, if any, do you see?
Oh, I'd like to see Jovita again.
But would she like to see you?
Maybe not.
I think it would not be wise if you join us.
Would I care though?
Well, I mean, you can turn up, but there is a question. I think what Reggie's saying is you're not coming with us.
You could come with me, hunt some werewolves if you want. Might be fun.
Well, yeah.
And also, if things go right, you might save Jovita's life, and then she would have quite an egg on her face, wouldn't she?
Well, sort of, yeah. Okay, you got me interested there. Keep it coming. Are we gonna hurt some lame ass students from the Verde Society or something afterwards? I mean,
Is that not just a little too simple? I mean, they probably will hurt themselves breaking into a vampire's club. Their young minds will not be able to take them. They will be corrupted deep in their souls, my dear. Without us doing
that's
anything.
the most
Be
fun.
there.
But I do worry if Piers Verde is coming after the vampires. It will disturb our plan.
Why would it? They go after the werewolves and the Piers Verde guys go after the club. I believe they will be intelligent enough at least to wait until the vampires have gone out in strength.
Maybe. You're right.
I mean, how would the vampires know that somebody's attacking their club? It's not like they have a magical phone that you could call.
No, they don't.
So, do we want Piers Verde to attack the vampires?
I do not care one way or the other.
Same. As long as there's some excitement going to happen tonight, I'm all for it.
I'll turn to look at Reggie. Do you want the vampires to hurt?
I don't think so. I think they need to be strong enough to fight the werewolves.
But what about afterwards?
Afterwards, I don't care.
So, I'll ask my question again. Do you want these vampires to hurt?
Yeah.
Are they a threat to you?
They will be.
Then we need to stop by the college on our way out, because I think I need to speak to the professor again.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
Well, put it this way, there's less bodies likely to come back if the Piers Verde hit the vampires afterwards.
I'll be honest with you. You are on the clock here.
Okay.
You know, I think what you want to do is to have two things going on.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a challenge.
No, I think, okay, that's fine. Okay, let's go and do it. No, it's too late for that. Let's go and do it. Let's get there, get these bullets over, get the vampires out the door.
I mean, if we could save some of the Piers Verde from an angry vampire, that might give us an in to infiltrate get into their good graces a little and put a bit of pressure on them to leave my sister alone.
Oh, I've already done that.
Oh, thank you.
You have done that?
Yes.
Well, actually, she's safe. I've already taken care of everything.
You've taken care of Smith's sister? What, taken care of?
Taken care of as in she's safe now.
Oh.
I wonder how far along. I mean, she's not a vase or something you can put somewhere and say it's safe, because she will move. She has ideas.
She's
and
in
plans.
my safe house.
Yes, well, it will hold
for
for
a
the
while.
side. For a while. It will hold for a while. I will take her off your hands after this is over. I apologize, Reggie, for putting you in this position.
No problem at all.
Actually, before we go, can we just, as we're on our way out, can we stop at that can we stop at the payphone on the corner 2 rows over? I just want to make.
My guess is there's a phone in Smith's workshop.
Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
but I don't want to use that phone.
Fine. Yeah. No. Stop at there's a red box on the corner.
Because I don't need to actually talk to the professor to leave him a message to pass on to people.
Oh, you could actually tell the professor.
Can I just say there's a rash assumption about answer machines?
Yes, but
1970s.
But a less rash assumptions about servants at the college.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Just think about what would happen if Piers Verde got a message that my apartment is open for another attempt at getting at Asmira. They don't know that she is in the safe house. We could lure them to my apartment so that they will not interfere.
We could do, but that means I would have to tell them a lie.
Oh, well,
Oh.
somebody else could go and tell them a lie, I'm sure. But I think I like the idea of them going after Jovita. We don't like Jovita all that much, right? We
That's
only
true.
need her to go after the werewolves. And if the faster we get there, the faster she will go after the werewolves.
Okay. Well, let me leave a message for the professor at the college. Even if he doesn't get it in time, I maybe you'll see that I've left it to him and recognize what it is, and at least then he may owe me a thank you for trying to inform him. But either way, let's make that phone call at the red box, and they can be on our way.
Our College Porters Lodge.
Hello, can I leave a message for... this is Gerwin having to look up the professor's name now because I'm terrible with NPC names. Can I leave a message for Professor Belanos there?
Yeah, hang on. Hey, Scrabble. Yeah, go on.
Can you let him know that the Piers Verde outing tonight, the booking that they have at the club, has been delayed by half an hour? Oh, sorry, been delayed by about 3 or 4 hours. If they show up early, it's likely going to cause a bit of a fuss.
So you want them to turn up 3 or 4 hours late.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, pass that on.
They'll be able to get more. They'll be able to get seated. Hello.
Click.
Hello.
Notoriously bad-mannered, the Gower Porters.
I hope you have a wonderful evening. Click.
Yeah. And so you've left your message trying to delay the arrival of Piers Verde. And Reggie and Wynne turn up at the club. Janette and Smith are, I guess, nearby just watching. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that seems fair.
And
I mean, I have a car. I'm very proud of my car.
fine. Sat in the car, staking out the club, this basement club in the back streets of Cambridge. Reggie, my assumption is that you will take the lead in terms of introductions. Does Wynne, do you know Jovita at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
But I told Jovita that there is a friend, and I made her promise that that friend will get the werewolf leader. So I can probably very naturally introduce Wynne now as that friend.
And Jovita is being played by Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees in full punk regalia. And there is certainly a punk band playing tonight. And Susie looks and Jovita looks at Reggie's, and she's clearly quite relieved because, you know, the clock's fucking ticking. So, you know, have you got him?
Absolutely.
Come on then. Who the fuck is that?
Well, I told you of this friend, right? And you made a promise?
Oh, yeah, all right then. What? And Jovita looks at Wynne as if to say, you want to leave the pack alpha to her? Have you got something against her?
Maybe you can hurt the leader a little bit before.
This is more complicated than you led me to believe, Reg.
I only want to kill them. It's okay. I'm not looking to fight them. I only want to kill them.
Yes, dear. I'm sure it'll go perfectly that way.
Oh no! This is
students.
This is vengeance. This is blood debt. This is guilt. This is they.
Do you in any way reveal your nature here? Because she's not really paying much attention to you.
I think I do. I think there's that sharp, there's that glint in the eye when I'm speaking, and. Well,
look, I tell you what, we have a move. Put a name to a face. When you put a name to a face or vice versa, roll with their circle. Maybe they already know about you.
Okay.
So roll with night.
That's -1.
I'm really picking winners tonight for you.
So that would be a 6.
A 6. Okay. So on a miss, you don't know them or you owe them. I think that, and she looks at you and says, "You're that fucking fairy."
We don't use that word.
I don't care, dear, what word you use.
No, call me gay, but don't call me a fairy. And I'll look around at folk.
It's bloody political correctness gone mad.
Fuck you.
Look, you owe me. You know you owe me. What do you owe Jovita for? Because I'm going to invoke the or you owe them.
Okay. I think Sharon actually comes to the club.
Right. And have you ensured that Sandra is safe here?
Sandra, sorry, I've got the name of my
No,
embassy wrong.
But you've ensured that Sandra is safe at Jovita's club?
I think that Jovita stepped in when someone was getting a bit too fresh with her.
Okay. Make a note of that as a debt you owe. But it makes more sense now. Mind you couldn't look after your own girlfriend, could you? Now,
she's not my girlfriend.
Oh, shut up. Jesus.
No, you shut up.
Reggie, you've got to move in better company, kid. So, Jovita has the bullets.
Yes.
Smith has retained 2. You can see that she hands them out. She fills her own revolver and then hands 1 silver bullet to each of her 4 favored vamp enforcers. And she says to, her human manager, her Renfield, I guess, watch the shop. We'll be back by midnight. And they go out into the night, where Smith, you and Janette will see them come out and head off into the darkness. What do you do? Because it's the 1970s, so it's a 3-day week and there are no street lights.
We'll do the totally rational thing of following them with our lights turned off.
Of course you will. Do you stop to pick up Reggie and Wynne?
If they want, if I see them, sure. Why not?
Well, I mean, what was the plan?
So
Are you going to go with the vamps, Wynne?
I think I'm going to have to, given what I've asked for me to do.
I kind of think that Reggie, are you going with Jovita, or do we pick you up?
I actually talked myself out of an obligation to join the vampires, so it's more like I will observe from a bit of safe distance what they do.
You can come with us. That's probably totally a safe distance.
Yeah, absolutely.
The bizarre bizarre scene then is you've got Jovita, 4 vamp bouncers, and Wynne, wearing his flower power shirt and not looking the part at all. Are you armed, Wynne? I haven't even thought about that.
I don't think I own a weapon.
No.
I have a comfortable apartment, a decent car. Apparently, I have a smartphone, but I don't think I do.
No, I think that's an edit I forgot. Access to a nearby telephone box, and you let them drift down the street, Smith, and then turn on the ignition and just drift off into the night.
Yeah. Carefully.
Janette, you and Reggie recognize where they're heading. They're heading to that abandoned warehouse industrial site on the edge of Cambridge, out onto the fens. Who knows why, but that's where they're going. Wynne, we have to have some. What's the look on your face as the audience sees you? We see Jovita, we see these enormous bouncer vamps, and then there's you.
What sort of car? Are we sat in a car or a van?
Oh, no, you're walking.
Oh, okay. Because if we were in a car, I thought it would be absolutely hilarious for them to be sit there and I'm trying to clean the car as it goes. But But no, I'm literally hunched over and looking around, and my hair's hanging down, and I'm totally out of place. In fact, if a normie saw me, they'd think that I'd been kidnapped or something.
Fine. You certainly look out of place. And I've just noticed there's a chat. No, I'm not going to fall for vampire biker gang. They don't have bikes. No, that's
But if they're on foot, we might just follow them on foot. We don't. I thought I was under the impression that they were somehow motorized, and if they are not, then we can just take an evening stroll,
fine.
right? Me
Just
and my two young friends here who are older than me.
I wonder if they spot you, Smith. This is your plan, isn't it? So I think it's about you keeping your cool.
Sure. How do I keep my cool? What do I roll?
It's a basic move.
But-
When things get real and you keep your cool, tell the MC the situation you want to avoid and roll with spirit.
Can I somehow help since it's my neighborhood?
Well, there is a help move. Lend a hand or get in the way. When you lend a hand or get in the way after a PSC has rolled, blah, blah, blah. So let's see how this one goes.
Okay.
And you can decide whether you want to spend one of your plan holds on this, Smith.
Yes, we'll see. And I'm rolling with spirit,
Yep.
and what I want to avoid is them spotting us right now. That
course, of
is
course.
not.
You see them, they don't see you.
They might see us, but they don't notice that we're there.
Fine.
As people who you should know, you know. So let's see. It's an 8. It's an 8.
Okay.
8 is fine. 8 is okay, I guess.
So on a 10 plus also on 7 to 9, the MC will tell you what it's going to cost you.
Mhm.
I think you lose them.
Oh,
So you
okay.
are going to be delayed in arrival. Does that seem
Okay.
fair?
That seems fair.
Okay. So Wynne,
On the other hand, if
Go
Janette
on.
helps me and I get +1 from that, then I can spend one of my holds.
Jeanette,
Oh,
do you
yeah.
want to help?
Let's see if we
Well,
can push
yeah.
that up to a 10.
Most certainly, I do know a shortcut.
So roll with Smith's circle. So roll with Mortalis.
Okay, back on my playbook and more time. Oh, it's a 0. Well, yeah, we go with a flat roll here.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Yeah, I know how we lost them.
Yeah. It's just down here, says Jeanette.
Are you sure?
Oh, how comes here's a whole fucking new block? That wasn't here like 400 years ago. I do know that for certain.
And I'm assuming, Smith, there's no point you spending your +1 because
I
it won't
will
be enough.
not. It's just like, okay.
So you
should've-
will arrive.
It's mostly
at
I should have known. Yeah.
you will arrive when stuff's already happening.
Yeah,
So
it's
Wynne,
fine.
you go round. You're winding your way through these warehouses, old brick warehouses, and Jovita says, to the others, shh. And you come to a corner, and just around the corner, you can see a bunch of werewolf bikers. Okay, and these werewolf bikers are kind of standing around an oil drum with a fire going in it. And clearly Jovita knew where to look for them. Do you want to do anything, Wynne, or do you want to wait for stuff to unfold?
I'm literally, as soon as I see them, I grab onto the closest person and basically squeeze to try and stop myself doing something. Okay.
And this vampire with a kind of Mohican looks down at you and says, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I don't have a gun.
Well, I wish you'd thought of that before we left the club.
I don't have a club either. And I'm going to reach up to his belt and unclip the chain that's there.
Of course, there'll be a bike chain round his waist.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not holding his trousers up. No, they're skin tight. And And Jovita says, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. And they go round the corner and just speed towards these werewolves, going bang, 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 bang. Yeah. And that will take down about half of these werewolves. Right. Wynne, do you just follow him? This guy?
Oh no, I'm charging in ahead of them.
Oh right, you want to get ahead of them.
The whole get them is me basically running in on the count of 2.
Sorry, so I entirely misunderstood that. So 1, 2, fuck, come on, back the fairy, and so you're going to get there first, Wynne.
Yes.
And you know, get out the fucking way. We're going to light a fire, yells Jovita. What do you do, Wynne?
As I'm running forward, when I hear that, I think I literally trip over and drop to the ground.
Go prone, and
Yes.
a hail of bullets comes past you that drops about half of the werewolves like that. Yeah, but that still leaves more werewolves than there are vamps. So they then hit them. Wynne, what do we see you doing? Because I'm not going to detail them. What do we see you doing against the background of carnage and chaos?
As the fight is going on, I'm basically laying in as best I can.
Okay.
I think there's that one moment though where one of them starts to shift. And,
go on.
And as he does so, I'm gonna take on the form of a wolf myself.
Okay. The only way I can think to deal with this is to use a faction move called openly attack a faction. Yeah, that'll give me some idea of how this is going. So in the absence of, I don't want to roll the dice. That just seems. So let's have Wynne roll with the Jovita's strength, which is, I think I set it at 2. So roll +2.
That would be a 9.
So on a hit, choose 1. Reduce the target faction size. Well, I think that makes sense that the werewolves took a hit from that fuselage of silver bullets. So there are fewer of them. On 7 to 9, the targeted faction counterattacks. They pick from the list as well, targeting the attacker. I think that they will, in the hurly-burly, as they transform, I think we'll see them take out a couple of the vamp bouncers. Yeah?
Yep.
And that's when you transform into a wolf. Is that glamour?
That is, yes. So I'm gonna take on another corruption to do that.
Oh, do you need to do that for glamour?
Yeah, it's a fairy power.
Oh, true enough. Oh, so it is. I beg your pardon. Oh, you're racking up the corruption. I can see where you're going. So yeah, right. And then.
And then I'm going to lay into them.
Generally, or are you trying to find the alpha?
I'm trying. Part of the reason I shifted is I'm trying to smell Reese's blood on one of them to try and figure out which one actually killed him.
Fine. I think there's no problem with that. You will manage that. And I think that's the point at which Smith, Reggie, and Janette come across this carnage, lit by the flames from this oil drum. Yeah? And that's where we'll take our next commercial break. So it is, shall we make it 5 past the hour? I'll see you at 5 past the hour. So we're restarting, and I've just clarified with the players. I think that we have Wynne has transformed into a wolf, i.e. the animal wolf. There are werewolves, and those bullets took down half the werewolves and took them out because the silver puts them down. May not kill them, but it'll certainly stop them fighting. They'll slink away maybe. But the other werewolves are physically more powerful than an individual vampire. So once they come to contact, I think probably this could go either way. And I think that that's probably when Reggie, the Smith, and Janette appear on the scene. This could go either way. I suppose the question I'm now going to ask Smith, because this is all your plan, is do you want to weigh in? And if so, on which side?
Well, this could go either way. The problem is Wynne, right? Because they're right in the middle of this, and I'm weighing in on the side of Wynne, I guess. I mean, I don't care if I lose my earpods and can't hear you anymore, because yeah, well, anyway, at least they're still whole. Last time I did this, I destroyed my earpods, so yay. Well, yeah, and I don't care if the vamps get eaten or the werewolves. The fewer of these survive, right? The better to my thinking. But I don't want Wynne to be hurt because I don't know. I like the guy.
Okay, well, the way I'll frame
brownie.
this, the way I'll frame this to Reggie and Janette then, is that Smith, in the plan, clearly the backup is to protect Wynne, and that means attack the werewolves. Yeah. If you choose to go a different way, either of you, then you can't benefit from Smith's holds for the plan. Does that seem fair? So, Smith, what do we see you do then that will send a signal to Janette and Reggie as to which way you are weighing in?
Well, the truth is that I will tell them that the less of these survive in my book, the better it is. So the one who should survive is Wynne. Can I identify them, though?
Yes.
That's the question.
Yes, because Wynne has transformed into a wolf, the animal wolf, not a werewolf.
Oh, okay. So there is a wolf, and that probably has to be Wynne because nobody else is a wolf. Fair enough. Yeah.
Whether those werewolves can transform into a wolf remains to be seen. But
also,
at this point,
that wolf is swearing in a Welsh accent, so it's a very good indication that it.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. You can pick 3 people who can still understand you.
And we've got 3 people here.
You have. So all of you can hear loud cursing.
Well, if there is a wolf in Wynne's way, what do? I guess I'll shoot it. I mean, that's what I got the silver bullets for, right?
Okay. So
I don't have a better idea on how to protect them, unless they don't need protecting. I mean, I don't need to throw myself into the fray.
Okay, so you're not going to let it out. You are going to turn to violence.
Afraid I am, yes.
Okay, so when you turn to violence, roll with blood, Smith.
Let it out. No, I'm not. I'm not corruption now because this is me going into danger. Knowingly, straight into danger.
Fine.
I don't want to mark a corruption here.
You mark corruption and roll to let it out.
No, I mark to turn to violence, don't I?
No, turn to violence is a basic move. That's just shooting them.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
If you want to let it out, there are 4 specifics in let it out.
Blindside an unsuspecting target with a knockout blow. I mean, could do that. What do I need to
Frighten or intimidate someone with a reminder of who you used to be.
No, I don't need them to know who I am right now. I'm fairly good if they don't have any idea who I am. Anyways, on a hit, activate an ability and mark corruption. Oh, okay. No, I've already marked corruption because this is my corruption move thingy, where I have to remove corruption, right? That is, the corruption move is when you knowingly head into danger, mark corruption. That's why I'm marking corruption.
Sorry, I thought you were letting it out. You've got a different move you're thinking of, have you? I'm confused, I will admit. Which move are you activating?
There are drama moves, and one of them is the corruption move. Yeah, they're under my stats. Line 18.
Okay.
B18.
When you knowingly head straight into danger, mark corruption. Okay, yeah, fine. And so that means you're going to get up close and personal.
I mean, shooting at werewolves, even if I'm not close and personal, seems pretty dangerous.
I just don't think you're going to be in danger if you just shoot them from the shadows.
No, I mean they will see me if I shoot.
Okay, fine.
This is a
Okay.
cold. It's loud.
Okay, fine. So when you knowingly head straight into danger, mark corruption. So you walk up to, you're walking towards them, bang, bang, bang. Yeah?
I have only one bullet. I'm walking up to them and I'm going bang at the one that is attacking, trying, or maybe I have to shoot a vampire. So I'm not sure. I will shoot whatever is attacking Wynne. It might be a vampire.
Okay. No, it's not a vampire. They're busy with the werewolf. So you're shooting a werewolf. So turn to violence and shoot a werewolf. Roll twist blood.
Alan, don't say it's not a vampire until the dice have been rolled.
Fair point. Let's see if a vampire stands up.
I mean, I don't care. All I care about is shooting something that is attacking Wynne. I'm not picky that way. Oh, I've rolled a 5. I could use some help, maybe.
Well, remember you do have. Oh no,
I do have 3. Enough. I mean, I have 3 hold.
Yeah. Anyone want to step in and help, Smith? Reggie,
nice.
Do you want to lend a hand? It went very badly last time.
Well, I can at least try.
Okay, roll plus mortalis.
Yeah. Let me see. Mortalis is, that would be 2 in my case, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
A 7.
Ooh, just as well. Okay, so on a 7, you are going to get +1, Smith.
Fine.
What does that look like, Reggie? How do you draw the werewolf into the line of fire, or do something else to help?
Yeah, I think I actually do the former. Well, it's that I am a vampire, and I show it to the werewolf by showing my fangs.
And I think what happens is the werewolf that was about to pounce on the wolf, because it ain't a werewolf, sees Reggie, turns towards them and begins to move towards you and draws them into your line of fire. On a 7 to 9, you expose yourself to danger, entanglement, or cost, Reggie, so you are now visible. Yeah, you are a target, as is Smith. So Smith, you hit on a 7 to 9.
Yes.
Inflict harm is established. I think a normal gunshot is 1, as I remember.
It's 3. It's 3 for my cold. I have a third. That's what my weapon description says.
Okay, fine. 3. Gosh,
3.
That's more than the rules, than the document
3
says.
harm, close, loud, reload.
Fine.
It's my 1 silver bullet. Come on.
It's exactly. I'd forgotten about that. And then the opposition chooses 1. They inflict harm on you. They put you in a bad spot. They create an opening and flee. I think a werewolf flees. It's seen, half a dozen of its fellows go down to silver bullets. And you've just hit it. And it feels the pain of the silver. Yelps and runs off into the shadows.
Oh, well.
Yeah?
I hope it wasn't the one that, I think it wasn't the one Wynne was going for.
Oh, that would be very hard of me, wouldn't it? You'd need to roll a 6 for that one. Deny Wynne their revenge. Okay, Reggie, you stepped out. Janette, do you take a hand?
Well, this is such an exciting event, and I think while the others are already rushing in, we see Janette standing there, taking a deep breath, exhale, and then finally, and she pulls out her Beretta pistol, and I think in like an older fashioned fantasy style, we see the whole picture just getting a bit darker as the magical aura becomes sort of visible for the audience.
And which move are you activating then? Are you just shooting with the gun, or are you using one of your spells?
Yeah, that I was wondering if I still have the 3 holds left. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you've got. Yeah, that's right. You got 3 left, haven't you? Because you had the
plus 1. Yeah. I think it's a mix of both. I'm happy just cursing bullets and shooting them. I'm happy spell slinging and shooting. I wanna be like a super badass sorceress slash pistolero type person. I want to be a show off here.
I'm very happy for the special effect to show this aura crackling down your body, down your gun arm, into the Beretta, and then poof, and I think we move to bullet time as this enchanted bullet speeds towards a werewolf and you roll plus blood.
Oh, not that good, but yeah, we'll see.
Oh no, you just spend one hole to inflict harm. It's easier than that.
Yeah, okay.
Scratch one werewolf.
Okay.
Much more effective than a silver bullet. Yeah?
Yeah, perfect.
Wynne.
How does this work exactly? Because it does just one harm, and she has to have a sample of saliva, blood, or hair.
I'm going with the
Okay.
narrative flow.
Okay.
Wynne, what are you doing?
It's just, well, it's me and this wolf. This werewolf. I think there's a back and forth. I think I'm being very violent at them and probably failing very badly.
So there's this enormous werewolf and there's a wolf.
Yeah.
And what?
You're lucky. I almost went as a Pembroke Corgi.
So roll with blood.
And that would be a 4.
Take 2 harm as it simply claws you, throws you.
Don't. You don't. I spend a hold. And before you went out there, I think I gave you some sort of protection, some sort of leather, a leather apron, because you're a smith now. So you get to wear this. Also will protect you from werewolf claws.
So that you're spending your +1, I'm guessing.
No, I'm spending a whole dismiss all harm done to.
Of course you are. Sorry. Yes, you are. I've forgotten
fine.
what you could do with that. So he goes to slice at you, and he's slightly confused when he claws across you, and this thick leather apron flies across into a wall, leaving you kind of untouched. Smith, you're next.
What about Reggie?
Well, Reggie came after you last time. Reggie helped you out. So I'm coming back round, I guess.
Oh, okay. Since the silver bullets don't seem to do a lot of good.
Oh yeah,
here.
I mean it took one down.
No, it ran away. It didn't take one down.
Oh, yeah. You need to do quite a lot of harm to a werewolf to actually kill it, but it won't be getting any better.
Yeah, but okay. Well, how are things standing? Are werewolves better off? Are vamps better off?
I think that your arrival has pushed the balance slightly in the werewolf's direction, but it's still not over.
Okay. And there was this werewolf hitting Wynne, right?
Yes.
And that's the one he was going for.
Yes.
So I want to hit it, but not too hard, so Wynne can kill it. Because
you've got one bullet left, haven't you?
I've got one bullet left, yes.
Okay.
I'll use that.
The way I'm imagining the silver bullet working is, in effect, it renders them mortal in terms of their levels of harm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's why they run away, because that's dangerous. So turn to violence again, unless you've got a better offer.
I don't have a better offer. I will
Fine, roll plus blood.
I have to roll plus blood. Let's see how this goes. Oh, wow, it's a 7, so yeah.
Okay, so exactly the same.
Yeah.
You wound it, which renders it mortal in terms of its vulnerability, Wynne.
Also, also took 4 harm,
which is plenty. So it is badly hurt now, but it's the alpha. It can't run away. Reggie, it's all happening. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're entangled with this now. One of the werewolves is going to come after you if you don't do something.
Exactly.
Excuse
So
me, what is the consequence from the roll? Sorry.
What the
Because
consequence on them?
they might know they get to inflict harm on me or put me in a bad spot.
Oh,
If
sorry.
they don't
Yeah.
run away.
I think they put you in a bad position because now they are closely entangled with Wynne. So it's going to be difficult to protect Wynne. Fair?
Fair, I don't have any silver bullets left.
Reggie.
I'm drawing my sword.
I've
Because
forgotten about the sword.
yeah.
Can we get a
And
glimpse at Smith as Smith kind of looks at the sword as if to say, is it? Oh, no, it's not.
No, he knows that he created that sword for Reggie. He knows what that sword is.
So, Reggie.
yeah, I think the idea is to make this werewolf afraid. So it's not really about causing harm, but displaying my dominance by letting it out.
Okay, go for it. Let it out. Mark corruption and roll with power, isn't it?
I think it's
On a hit, activate. So roll first and then you may mark corruption.
but let it out. I think
It's
not
roll with spirit, I think.
spirit, yeah, which is not that great for me, but that's how it is. Okay. Nevertheless, it's a 9.
That's not bad, is it? So let it out on a 9.
Do you want one of my holes to get it up to a 10?
I don't think I need to, because it's fine to mark corruption, I guess.
Yeah, who'd want to avoid corruption?
Yeah.
On a hit, activate the ability from the playbook and mark corruption. And so, yeah, you know, what does that look like? What does vampiric dominance look like, Reggie?
Well, it's kind of similar to what I already did to draw its attention to me. So
full fang.
My full fang, but in addition, in my case, the sword and a very loud and high scream.
Fine. And the werewolf is coming towards you, sees you in all your vampiric glory, and turns and runs. So it's definitely swinging the vampire's way now.
Okay.
Janette, what are you going to do?
I'm having the time of my life, and I'm like shooting everybody but my party members.
Oh, including vamps?
Yeah, I don't mind.
So what I will do then is I will treat even numbers on this roll as a werewolf and odd numbers as a vampire.
Perfect.
Okay, roll the dice.
So blood is plus a 0. Okay.
Because this seems to me to be now just random violence.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just here for blood. So it's a 7.
So so 7. It's a werewolf. So you do shoot and again, the shock of that is rather like the silver bullet. It just takes the fight out of them, and they slink off into the shadows to nurse their wounds. It's definitely in favor of the vamps at this point. And I think that the rest of the wolves make a run for it, leaving Wynne with the alpha. And the vamps, the bouncer vamps, look to pounce on the alpha, and Jovita says, "No, I promised." Wynne?
And I is the alpha down, or is it just me and him fighting?
The alpha, it's just you and them, and the alpha is rendered subject to mortal harm. So you don't need to, inflict something like 7 or 8 harm on it.
Okay. I'm going to shout to my party to get back.
Oh, I think they're outside the ring of these vampires. They haven't got that close to them.
Okay. So at that point, I think the clouds part and the full moon, the moon comes into view.
It can be a full moon if you want a full moon.
Full moon comes into view. We're in the fen, so we're fighting in amongst the water, and there's the reflection of the moon on the water itself.
Okay.
And then there's the sound of unearthly music. I'm going to let it out and summon an elemental storm of moonlight. And because we are a court of the moon, to basically try and harm everyone in a close area with AP and 2 harm.
When you say everyone,
I'm just letting it out. I don't have control. It's
okay,
basically
so
an area.
depending on how this goes.
I'm at close range, so I'm going to get hit by this myself.
Okay. So when you let out the power, then you roll with spirit. Yeah. So let's have you roll with spirit first. Say again.
I can shield us. I mean, it's something magical. I think I would be aware of. I have 2 holds left.
Well, we'll worry about that if we need it.
Okay, that is a 6.
So what does a storm of moonlight look like, Wynne?
Is there a way that we can help him though? Them? Sorry.
I don't know. What suggestions do you have?
Well, yes, I'm basically channeling fairy magic at this point.
Have you still got anything of your plan left, Smith?
I do have. Oh yes, I do have 1 hold left. So I'll give you the +1 because this was the plan from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe you still have some of that good old cocoa in your belly, that hot chocolate, and it kind of helps.
So when you summon the moon, everybody else duck. So that turns a 6 into a 7, Wynne.
Yes. So there's this. It's almost as if the air is getting cold around it. So there's little flakes, almost like snow. But they're actually just the moonlight catching on the dust in the air, and they just glow. It's glowing so hot, so cold and so strong that the actual light of the moon itself is what's causing the damage. But there's all the while I'm doing this, is the sound of this unearthly music that's playing as I break the boundary between fairy and the real world.
Okay, this is still an area attack, so Wynne is still at risk.
Yep, I'm gonna be hit by this.
Well, unless someone intervenes.
Yes, and that's where I come in, because
you begin to see these shards of moonlight begin to pound into the ground around Wynne and the wolf, and the wolf is looking at the moon. The moon is supposed to be the wolf's friend. How does this shield work then?
Okay, I think in my understanding of this kind of magic, it's some sort of that I have the ability to physically connect with HMs or something like that. I just don't really actually know that. So I just think I transform the air, some of the air around us, into something very sturdy. So
around you or around Wynne? Because Wynne is the one who's in the crosshairs. I think the move from 6 to 7 puts the rest of you out of risk, out of danger.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much, because the move says spend 1 hold to provide +1 armor +1 to yourself or someone nearby, or spend 2 hold to provide +1 armor to everyone in a small area, possibly including yourself.
Okay.
I should just warn you, this is actually an AP attack.
What does that actually?
It means it's armor piercing.
Okay. So my shield doesn't really work here. Okay.
Okay. So there's nothing else you can do, is there?
I'm more than happy to take the hit.
Fine. If you're happy to take the hit, let's have you take 2 harm. But the wolf is, because it's moonlight, it's its friend. It is susceptible to moonlight. We know that. And I think I'm going to kill the alpha. Yeah?
Yep. And I think there's that moment where it's so cold in there that it's actually burning. and everything's go away, and the mortal frame that the mortal magic, the glamour, drops, and everyone who's around can actually see Wynne for what they are.
And it's not clear when the vampires back away in horror, whether it is away from the moonlight, away from the power of what's been unleashed, or indeed revulsion at the revelation of Wynne's true form.
I imagine the Smith has not gone away because protecting Wynne was always the thing he was there for. So he takes the true harm as well.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, I think he's not. I mean, he's probably dithering like, should I go now? Oh, things falling. Should I go to him and protect them, or should I go? Ow.
You step into the moonlight. Okay.
Ow.
And Jovita, I think, is kind of wide-eyed looking at Wynne, because we know what her opinion of Wynne is, and she's never seen this happen before. And she looks over at Reggie and says, I like your friend.
Yeah, I choose my friends wisely.
Janette, what about you at this point? The alpha is down, the pack has dispersed into the fens.
Can
It's
I
all
shoot
calming
somebody?
down.
The vampires are still here, right?
Yep.
Okay, I don't stop shooting. Why would I?
Have you got any hold left?
No, not a hold, but I've got like my Beretta.
Okay, so you're just going to shoot a vampire.
Yeah.
Okay. Turn to violence, Janette.
Give it another try. This time it's a 6.
With unerring speed,
Was not the plan.
they're on you. Unless, Smith, have you got any hold left to put?
No, that was not in the plan.
It was because this was about backing up Wynne and taking on the werewolves. Once you go rogue on a vampire, the plan's broken down. And 2 of the bouncers hit you like trains. I'm going to inflict 3 harm on you.
Can I use my shield here to prevent one of those?
You
Okay.
could. So you spend your remaining. No, you got no hold left, have you? You got 1 hold left. Okay.
Oh, did I spend it?
I asked if you had hold, and you said no. You're just going to use the Beretta.
Oh, yeah. That was not because I had the 2 holds that I did not spend for shielding us because of the armor piercing.
Okay, so you got 2 hold left.
And
Are you applying that now?
Yeah, I need to use 1 to get a +1 armor. I'm not sure if I can stack them.
I don't think you can, because it's a move, isn't it? So you use shielding. That reduces the harm to 2.
Yeah.
And you are pinned to the ground. And Jovita looks at Reggie and then begins to walk slowly towards Janette as she is pinned on the ground. Reggie?
Excuse my trigger-happy friend.
Janette,
It was all
no, go on.
this. I think she hasn't realized that the fight is over.
I think it's going to take some kind of debt arrangement here. So does anyone have a debt they can pull on Jovita to get her to back down?
Let me have a look. I think I do.
Yeah, I see it. A debt from Jovita.
Yes, I do have 1 debt from Jovita.
Do you want to call in that debt, Reggie?
If I do so, she will be out of my web. But
I mean, I could try to let it out
It's fine.
and try to intimidate her. If that's.
I
you want
think,
to
yeah.
convert it. Yeah.
Do you want to give it a go, Smith? Because
Sure.
Reggie is oscillating.
Yeah, he's hesitating.
Okay.
So what do you want to do, Smith?
I will get myself up. I was trying to look if Wynne was still alive or badly hurt or anything, but I will get up at this and say, Jovita, you know who I am, right? I would take it as a personal favor if you would leave this person alone. I have need for her.
Let's have you roll to let it out. Roll plus spirit. The dice are really being so kind to you tonight. What could go wrong?
Thank you. Thanks for that. Let's see how that goes. Oh yeah, it's a 5. Doesn't, yeah.
Seriously, that's all you have in the box.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Have you got a hold left? No, this is not part of the plan.
No, it's not part. This was never a part of the plan, and I have no hold left, and I'm too tired for this anyway. So
before I adjudicate that 5, is there anyone who can help?
I have one very last hold left, and I've got the memory wipe move. Can I memory wipe her?
What effect does it have? Spend 1 hold to cause a helpless target.
I'm the helpless target. So yeah, no, not working.
You could do it to, some werewolf. So does anyone want to lend a hand to backsmith?
I've got a 5. I don't have a 6. So.
Oh, no, right. Okay, so we're screwed. And
Well, what I could do instead is I could try to create an opportunity for Janette to escape by letting it out.
Then I'm very content for you to give that a go.
Yeah.
So roll plus spirit, because again, things are going terribly well.
Oh, 6.
Jesus God.
With that,
so Smith has failed.
Somehow
Reggie has stepped in and failed miserably.
Yeah,
so
somebody could help you.
So I guess I was trying to to confuse him a little bit, and by just walking to them and starting a conversation again.
And she cuffs you for a point of harm. Smith, okay. I still have to adjudicate your failure, and I'm mulling that over at the moment. Wynne, you're in a bloody mess on the ground, but
I'm unconscious.
Fine. Out for the count.
I collapsed into Smith's arms.
Yeah.
So it's fine, Smith. I think one of the remaining vamps, just grabs you by the throat and holds you up against a wall. Take 1 harm.
Yeah, okay. Ow. Ow.
Janette, Jovita is continuing to walk towards you. Do you have anything up your sleeve?
Yeah, I warned her that I would call her mother. Is there any backflash mechanic or something like that?
Unless you can find it, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, no. Because my idea was, like, I threatened her that I had good connections with her mom. I don't know what the relationship between her and her mom would be, but I think I'm just somehow an acquaintance of her parents. And
yeah, I think the difficulty of that is when you put a name to her face, you failed, and you ended up owing her a debt, didn't you? So unless you can somehow generate a debt that Jovita owns, has, yeah. And Jovita comes and she puts her stiletto heel on your neck and says, by right of those accords that bind us all together.
Blah, blah, blah. Stop that nonsense. This is gonna be repaid. Take off your fucking heel. On the long on the long end, I will outsmart you by.
I've got to step out of game here because do you want her to kill you?
Well, I don't mind. It's just I don't see Janette backing down from anyone. Like
I think Wynne is starting to stir at this point and hears the shouting. Yeah. Oh, what happened? What happened? What's
Smith is being held against the wall by one vampire. Reggie is looking fairly sheepish over there at the moment. And Janette is being held down by the other two surviving vamp bouncers as Jovita looks like she's going to tear her throat out.
I'm willing to Jovita, please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
Do you have a debt you can call in on Jovita?
I don't, but
Are you prepared to go into debt?
Just give me a moment. Piers Verde are going to be hitting your club later tonight.
She looks down at Janette, points at her and says, "Later, bitch." And they speed off using what's the phrase in the vamp playbook? They perform a fantastic feat of vampiric strength or agility and blur back towards the club. Jovita owes you a debt, Wynne, as long as they get there in time. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
What
I'm
the hell
inclined.
happened?
I'm too old for this shit.
Oh,
I've been waiting for Smith to say that today.
are
Yeah,
you
me too.
okay? Are you okay? What happened to you? Oh, you burnt. What happened?
I was a fool. I didn't heed your warning. I apologize for that. And then Janette thought it would be a great idea to shoot one of those people who weren't attacking us.
I did this to you.
No, I did this because I was a fool, as I said.
No, I did this to you. Oh.
I should have heeded your warning, but I apologize. I should have respected you more.
Oh, thank you.
Janette. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm gonna. I'm thinking you've got like frostbitten hands at
Yeah.
this point, and I'll bend down and I'll kiss one of them. Thank you, Smith. You're too good to me. And I think
I'll just hug you.
Sorry. I think this is a moment of intimacy between us.
Oh yes, it is.
Fine.
It's true.
As I pour out my thanks and basically start crying over all the help Smith has given me in getting revenge.
And I will just hug Wynne because I don't. Yeah, don't be.
I don't know if that's what the intimacy move actually means, or
It works for me. So, which promise do you extract from Smith?
that he'll never put himself in danger to save me again.
I will owe you a debt for that. I will not give you that promise.
Fine. And I think it's a two-way. So, veteran, when you share a moment of intimacy, physical or emotional, they give you a debt they hold on someone else.
I will give you a debt on. 1 second. I think I'm going to give you the debt that I hold on Professor Belanos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Tell him Wynne sent you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will owe you for. I will not promise this. You can hold this over my head if I'm being a fool again. But I cannot promise.
Janette, you also owe Jovita a debt. She will come for it in some form. Okay? So add a debt to the one you already owe her, I think. And I think I want to move to city and faction moves before we finish, if we may. So when time passes, because time is going to have to pass, because it's going to take you the thick end of a week to recover from these wounds, I think. I mean, I'll check that out between now and then, but you're not going to be up and bouncing tomorrow. When time passes, PCs can make a number of city moves equal to their highest status. Your status is all just 1 at the minute. So, Reggie, is there a city move that you would like to make?
Let me have a look. Um, I'm not sure if I can do anything I haven't already done about the sword. Did I put out the word last time already, or did I do
Yeah, I
something?
mean, you can always go to a different, you can cite a different contact from a different, and
Yeah,
that would
that's
allow you to
true.
tick another circle, conceivably.
Yeah, that's true. Last time I went to Mortalis about this. Oh wait, put out the word is for your own circle, right? So I think I used something else anyway last time. And this time I'm going to put out the word in my own circle, which makes sense because I actually helped out in the fight against the werewolves. So even though I didn't have to. So I'm actually approaching the other vampires. And
So after the events of tonight have
Yeah.
settled, you're asking Jovita to find this thing for you, in effect.
exactly.
Okay, then roll with night.
Yeah. And my knight is just 1. Okay. Uh, 13.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
She knows where she can get it, and she will have it for you next time.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was easier than we all expected.
Yeah.
Wynne, is there anything you wanted to do in terms of a city move?
I think I need to heal. But with terms of city move itself, I'm sorry, I keep on going to different parts of the.
It's not compulsory, just, you know.
No, I'm fine at the moment. I don't have anything I think I want to do with city moves.
What about the smith?
I mean, I need to heal here, right? Also, I think it's time that I go and talk to my sister, but we'll do this next time, I guess. Consult your contacts. About what do I need? I think I'll tootle around in my workshop because, I mean, everybody's got a sword here. Why don't I have a sword? I want a sword, just a basic sword. Or wait, no, I have an idea because I think I have to kind of make up with Jovita. I don't want her to come after me for this whole bullshit that went down. And so I will craft something for her. I have a move that's called True Artist. When you present a valuable or rare gift you've created to status 2+ NPC of a circle, gain +1 ongoing, blah, 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 to your status with that circle. But I feel that that would actually also mean that she wouldn't be too angry if I could. And she's wearing all these chain stuff things and pins and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think what I would do, and she looks like Suzy Sue, right? So I would like craft some sort of. I will ask the student for help in this. What's cool, but figure out what's cool and what I could craft for her that she could wear on her jacket or something, some kind of chain with
Or a piercing.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants me to. Oh, yes, but I could. Yes, a piercing is cool. And I think I want a piercing for her that has a little chain on it so it can swing around a bit and also will look like a vampire, like a werewolf's fang.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Mhm.
I don't think I want to put any particular, I don't want to wrap any particular needs around that. It's a fairly mundane object.
Mhm.
So I think, you know, you will have enough materials. Probably there's enough silver left to make it out of silver. So unless you need to make a roll, I don't
I
think.
don't.
Fine. So so when you've created a status 2 plus in a circle, gain +1 ongoing in your status with that circle until after time passes. So you will have that additional status with night for our last session. Okay. And finally, Janette, is there a city move that you want to make?
I want a lot of them. But I think first now, I want to consult my contacts because I need info on my now arch enemy. I'm going to bring down over the next couple of sessions, hopefully.
So consult contacts or weaken someone standing.
I mean, first, it just sounds wiser to gather information to find a weak spot and then putting the finger on it.
I mean, the mechanic for weaken someone standing assumes you do all that.
Okay.
So
yeah,
unless there's a particular question in the list you want to ask.
Yeah, I mean, the only interesting question would be who has adept on her, so I could press the right buttons, right? Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah,
your
I go with
choice,
that.
as long as you know the limits and scope of the moves.
Yeah, I go with the contact to contact.
Fine. So roll plus night.
Okay, night is a 0. It's a 9.
Okay, so ask 1. Who has a debt on Jovita? Who has a debt on Jovita? I think that, let's keep it tight. I think Professor Belenos holds a
Ooh.
debt on Jovita.
That is very useful.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, and I would like to activate a faction move because I'm curious to know how whether Piers Verde did hit the club while they were away. So I think that Piers Verde are going to goad an opponent. When a Mortalis faction tries to goad an opponent into making a mistake, roll plus their strength. I'm going to defer this to Wynne, if that's okay, because Wynne has tried to delay Piers Verde in the hope that they don't actually, or they go late. So that might be as good a way as any way to judge it. So roll plus strength of 2.
Okay. That would be an 8.
So what it says, on 10 plus, the target takes the bait, instant blah, blah, blah. No. On a 7 to 9, the target, the vamps, avoids the worst of the trap, but causes enough trouble to embarrass themselves. So I guess there's some kind of fracas at the club before Piers Verde can do real harm. Their strength is reduced by 1. Now, their strength was reduced by the fight. So currently, Jovita's strength is at 0. Not looking good. It looks like her standing in the vampire community has taken a hit. Yeah? We've got 5 minutes. Can we have a swift stars and wishes? If I start in the order I can see you. So, Reggie, stars.
Yes, stars to all the players again, and to you, and especially what I really, really loved tonight was the scene between Jovita and Wynne. It was so lovely.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I think everything that that I start last time would still hold true today.
And do you have a wish for our final session?
Huh.
I tell you what, think about it. I'll come back
Yeah.
to you.
All right.
Gerwin, any stars?
Yeah, I really enjoyed tonight. I loved the fact that Janette is just balls to the wall, pardon the phrase. But she really doesn't give a shit, and that's lovely to see in the player.
It's like she really believes that she's immortal.
Yes, and Smith being Sabine Smith is. I love Smith as a character because it's so rare in games you get to see such a supportive character, who has their own shit going on as well at the same time. And the fact that Smith has actually bought into this and the whole relationship that is building there between him and Wynne, I just love. And Reggie. Oh God, where did that sword come from? I know this is going to be a horrible thing to say, but through adversity comes strength, and all the bad rolls tonight, I think, have just added to the game. So I'm sorry to say that my star is all the bad rolls that we've all had, but I think it just added to the actual session. If everything had gone our way, I don't think it would necessarily have been so much fun.
Yeah, it was much different to the first session, right?
Yes,
definitely.
Indeed.
And Alan, thank you for giving us these right bastards to actually to play with. And
nasty people.
Yeah.
Nasty people. Sabine.
Yeah, stars all around. Yeah, I always love to see Reggie trying to wrestle the most advantage from every situation. That is really lovely. And still he doesn't come across like a totally uncaring opportunist. He just does what's best for him because he's lived for a long time, and but he still has people he likes and he has people he doesn't like, I feel. So yeah. And Janette, wow, you're really badass. Like, oh, and now I'm going out guns blazing at all of these because, hey, I'm a witch and I used to be the best witch in whatever sheer, and now I'm showing all of them. And oh, oops, this didn't go that well. Well, okay then. And I have to say, Wynne is such a lovely character. I really love him. I love the way when he was like, fuck you at somebody. It was so cute. He would just, oh my god. Even profanity, he manages to be like, I don't know, it's hard to say. And he took out the alpha werewolf.
Not a bad night's work.
Yeah.
Mario,
yeah,
sorry.
And I wanted to say yay for the bad rolls, and then I'm gonna be silent.
Mario, any stars?
Yeah, absolutely. I think following the Leandro character discussion on the Slack, I think we can all agree on that there is a Sabine trademark for a certain type of characters, and I feel there is we can see that in this Smith as well, and that's just, yeah, it's a lovely type of character. You don't get to see that often if Sabine's not around, so that's something I really appreciate. Also, I'm surprised what kind of lovely Fae person we've got with us, because during character creation I totally got the wrong picture of Wynne, and now it's so lovely that despite these crazy powers he got, he's just like such a lovely innocent-ish creature. That was such a good surprise tonight, and I'm sure we can. I'm sure I will have a lot of fun to bring Reginald in the worst possible situations in the next few sessions. That, I think that's one of my main goals, besides killing Jovita. So, and yeah, and like really generally, it's what also surprised me is that we have this clear balance and on who is bad in what way, but then it always gets like layered down in gray shades. So it's really easy to have an excuse to turn against somebody, but then there comes like some sort of repercussion that is automatically built in. That's really cool, a good way of collaborative storytelling, and that's the start for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with those. Let me come back round for a quick wish. Daniel, any wishes for Reggie or anybody else, or what happens next time?
Well, maybe we can actually see some corruption in the next session. So I think there
I
are
have to say that's
corruption
more in your
advances, right?
hands than mine.
Yeah, I know, but that would be lovely, I think. But I'm probably not as far on the corruption track as others. Other than that, I could see Reginald trying to take over the lead in the vampire community now that Jovita is considerably weakened.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to come up for a plan for how you do that, I'm here for that. Gerwin, a wish?
I just would like to actually see us have. I would like to see us interact with Piers Verde and actually get some closure on that. I don't know what that closure is going to be, but I'm interested either way. But apart from that, I'm pretty good. I think I've hit all the main story beats so far for Wynne. So I think it's a spotlight episode for someone else next week.
Okay, Sabine, any thoughts for what you'd like?
I would like to have a scene with my sister and figure out what she's doing in the city. And I have an idea for that, but I might just share it in the chat so we can think a bit more about that.
Well, I'm conscious that I didn't deliver Sandra today, or Nate for that matter. So maybe we in our first scenes next time, it might well be a bit of just personal background, you and your mortal associations, perhaps. And Mario, any wishes for next time?
Yeah, it's a bit ambivalent because I think we broke loose a huge thing there we could follow, like the whole imbalance of within the vampire community and within the werewolf community. So I'm torn about either having like a big badass action finale or going a bit zoomed into personal lives, and then I guess I would like to help Wynne with Sandra, and or have like a sweet backstabby revenge on Jovita.
Okay, so a relatively short list then.
All
Okay.
in one session.
Indeed, and a big bang action sequence. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. So wave bye to the internet.